Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of Bleav in Chargers. I'm joined by, Derwin, the new AFC Defensive Player of the Month of November, Derwin James of the Chargers, kind enough to join us today. Derwin, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, man. Can't complain.
I appreciate you taking the time. It's we're in the thick of the NFL season, so I know time is valuable. Again, I really appreciate it. We got a lot of fun things to talk about with the Chargers. And, man, Derwin, we got a big one coming up this weekend, going to Vegas. It's do you like going to Vegas and playing? I know last time it didn't go well, but that environment was crazy. You ready for this weekend?
Oh, yeah, man, for sure. The environment there was amazing. Can't wait to get out there on Sunday, man. I know it's going to be a lot of excitement out there.
Yeah, no, we'll be watching for sure. Derwin, I want to ask you kind of a first question, and again, thanks for taking the time. It's been a really crazy year for the Chargers, right? There's been a lot of misfortune in terms of injuries, a lot of your boys going down, Bosa, JC, a lot of guys, but you guys are somehow still, you're in the thick of it, and y'all are fighting every single week, and just came off a huge win in AZ. Talk to me about the resilience of this team a little bit. And I know it's been tough, but how have you guys, as Lowe was saying, just bending and not breaking and just continue to scrap and fight, man?
Because, man, we know it's not everything in NFL, man. You're going to have to earn it week in and week out. And like you say, man, unfortunately, we done lost some brothers along the way. But the guys that have stepped up and stepped in, man, they haven't flinched. And I feel like that's the biggest thing with us. And we're coming together. We may not play the way we want to play the whole game, but the situations that we need to get done, I feel like we're doing that. And that's why I feel like we're having the success we're having.
Hey, speaking of one of your brothers, I want to rewind a little bit. Let's talk about Zont, man. DBU, both of you Florida State boys.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Me and Lo are obsessed with him. We love you too, Durham, but we love Zont, man.
Yeah, man.
Florida State guy. And of course, your guy Jalen Ramsey, also Florida State guy. It seems like that school just pumps out DBUs. I want to talk about Zont though, because this is a big year for the kid, right? In year two, and a lot of people said he was undersized, and then JC goes down with the injury, and this guy's stepping up, your number one corner. Can you tell us a little bit about this kid? And we see it on the field, but what's his work ethic like, his preparation like? Because this kid's really becoming a true number one corner. It's just the second year in the league, man.
Man, he understands it. He gets it. Man, I'm not talking about just on the field. I'm talking about off the field, being a pro, taking care of your body. You know what I mean? All the little stuff, man, working out, working hard, asking questions in the meeting room. I feel like, and that's why you're starting to see his game elevate every week, the older he get. And it's a lot of similarities that I see, from my rookie year when I was early and just learning the game and how he's coming along and listening. And, I'm kind of being his big brother, helping him too. And guys like Bryce, who also helping him. So, man, just having a guy like that, he already has the confidence. I mean,
he's got so much swag, man.
Confidence. I mean, that's what makes him so special. But it's not like a arrogant, cocky confidence. You know what I mean? It don't come off as that. So I feel like he know who he is, and I feel like every day, like, he just trying to be great. And you know what I mean? I feel like that's what's helping him out.
No, there's a fine line of cockiness and confidence, right? And if you're able to tread that the right way, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
It's funny, Derwin. It's like people say you're the veteran of this defense, even though I look at you're 26 years old. Do you ever feel that vibe too? People call you kind of the veteran.
Yeah, it'd be like tripping me out sometimes, because I'd be like, I have to remember sometimes, like, man, I'm only 26. They be calling me like OG, old head kind of. I'm like, oh man, I ain't that old, man. I'm young still.
I was waking up yesterday and you had your all-pro rookie season. Now today you're a veteran in the National Football League. It's crazy, right? How time flies.
It's crazy how time flies, man.
But you talked about, like, Asante, in terms of, like, I'm more curious about the off the field stuff, because that's what we don't know about. Like you said, taking care of his body. What is it like being a pro? Like, you're in Florida State, but now you're in the National Football League. Are there things you need to do differently on a day-to-day basis, like taking care of your body, sleeping, like all those habits? Like, how are those things different with what you're doing now versus what you're doing in college?
It's a lot different, man, because in the NFL, man, you have to prepare your body to be able to go every week. And, man, whether that's preparation with massages, making sure you hydrate, everything, all the little stuff, eating right, the sleeping, like you said, I just feel like he gets that. And, you know what I mean? He's taking care of himself, man. And people don't really understand how much goes into just getting our bodies ready to go out there and compete, you know what I mean? And being able to go compete against other great coaches and great players, at the same time, so it's just a lot that go into being, a professional athlete. But hey,
sure.
Man, but I will say, man, Zont off the field, man, funny guy, man, a guy that you'll want to hang around, man, good energy, good vibes.
That's key.
And like I said, he gonna have a bright future in this league, man, for sure.
DJ, I want to ask you too as well. I always, whenever I do these podcasts with Lorenzo Neal, I always call you a queen chess piece. You can play high, you can play low, you can play everywhere on the field. You're Mr. Versatility. So what do you think, though, is an area of your game where you maybe go back to 2018, you're like, hey, I need to improve in this area, versus now you're like, I think I've mastered this area of my game? Was there a specific area of your game where you're like, wow, I really improved this from year one to now, in your 4th, 5th year in the league?
Yeah, I'll say from understanding what they're trying to do to me now, because like before I go in, I'm just a rookie. They're not game planning for me. I'm just out there. Like I don't really fully know everything I'm doing. Like I'm just learning and just kind of reacting off instincts.
Yeah.
Now it's like I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in my plan. Now I can see what you're doing, and then like I'm older now, and I know teams game plan me. And so it's a lot more in my mental now, more than physical, attributes, I say.
Yeah, because there's tape on you now, so you can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before I was a rookie, it was no tape, so
Yeah.
they didn't game plan me. They was worried about Joey and the other guys, but now it's like I'm on the game plan now. So I just gotta get accustomed to that.
Well, that's what separates the good from the greats, the ones who are able to adapt and continue to adapt. And obviously, you've been doing that. I want to ask you a fun one, Derwin. So, obviously, you guys play different teams every Sunday. Who's that one matchup? Could be a tight end receiver where you just salivate, like, oh, man, I got him this week. Like, let's go to town. Is there one specific guy in the NFL where you're like, you're licking your chops? You cannot wait to go face him every Sunday?
Man, y'all know that. Number 87 in Kansas City.
Yeah. I'm sure he's still feeling that body slam from week 2, Derwin. Come on, man.
Nah, he probably feeling a little better, man. They got the W last time, but like I said,
guy.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a great battle, man. And like I said, we bring the best out of each other. He know that. I know that. So.
Absolutely, man. I want to ask you this, and this is more of a personal question related to your team and yourself. It's like, Derwin, you've obviously been through a lot, right? You've had your injuries, you've had your major injuries, 2019, 2020. But how has that shaped you, man? Like into the type of player, but more importantly, man, the type of leader you are today, because you've been in your bottoms and you've been in your highs. Like, how has that led to the leader you are today when everyone's looking to Derwin James for guidance? You think that pass has helped shape you?
I definitely feel like it helped shape me, and I don't think I'll be the leader I am today without going through those trials and tribulations, because I feel like I learned to appreciate the game even more. I got time to spend more time with my coaches when I was injured, learning more about the game, learning more about my teammates, So I was just trying to just really learn, man, how can I impact people around me, not just do my job. Hey, I don't want to be the guy that just show up and I'm going to do my job. I want to come to work and I want to elevate somebody. I want to help, I don't want to just be that guy, like a me guy. So I just feel like me going through all that adversity I've been through, I can help guys like J.C. Jackson who's going through an injury, like Joey Bosa who's going through an injury right now, and them understand that I'm not just talking to make them feel good. Like I really feel what you felt, like what you're going through. So I feel like it kind of helped me in a way.
No, it's such a good point, because the average Joe's like myself, or people in the media, whatever, I don't want to classify myself as one of those people, but it's like when you see a J.C. Jackson injury, people are just thinking about, oh, this guy's rehab, when he's going to come back. But people don't understand the mental side of it, man. Yeah, I go through mental things all the time, through little things. So imagine when millions of people are talking about you, and I think that's where your leadership, right, comes in. Like, hey, Joey, hey, JC, how you doing, right?
Yeah, for sure. Just checking on my brother, man, and he'll tell you the same thing, man.
Derwin, I want a few fun ones. First of all, you got to choose one teammate, all right? They're a stand-up comedian. They're doing a comedy show. Who's the funniest guy in the locker room,
bro?
Man?
Brandon Fihoko. It's not even close.
Really?
Dude, some of the stuff he says is insane. Bro,
I heard he's a monster eater.
Bro, he's everything, bro. He crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Look, there he go right there. It's crazy. He walking right there. It's crazy.
I can just tell you're smiling when he's walking by. And then another one. You're in a 2v2 basketball league. You got to choose one teammate. Think about all
Keenan. I don't need that. Me and Keenan going to go hoop on something. Yeah. If it's basketball, I like me and Keenan anything. You can name anything off the field, 2-on-2. I like me and Keenan.
You got a nice jumper, or what's your specialty?
Everything. I got everything. I'm like a slasher though. I'm more of I'm a drive, poke it on you. I got a little jump if you leave me open, but I ain't got too much of that. I ain't too much.
Wet like water? Nah, man. I
not like that. I'm Oh, you feel me? I don't know who to compare to really.
No, I feel that. I'll ask you a few more, man. Again, guys, Derwin James, kind enough to join us on Bleav in Chargers. Chargers stand at 6-5. Big one coming up against the Raiders, and then the Dolphins on Sunday Night Flex. Derwin, all you've done in your career has gone up against good quarterbacks in practice, right? 17-10, Rivers and Herbert. Do you consider that an advantage, when you step on the field on Sundays, just because all you've had to see is eliteness when you're facing offense in practice?
Yes, man, definitely. From my early rookie year, my first season, first 2 seasons, just being able, and they're different in different ways, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
how so? Yeah,
Phil was a more of a guy where he knew all the protections, he knew everything, so he used to always like help me with like my mechanics when I'm blitzing, like the quarterback knowing when I'm blitzing, stuff like that. And then Herbert, he just being able to process everything, man, and the throws that he's able to make, and like just all around attributes. I feel like just going against that guy, man, from training camp, he just helps me. And then when I get in the game, like it's easy, it's like easier, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Derwin, I'll ask you one more, man. Again, I appreciate your time. It's take me through, quickly through. You have a game day, and it's Monday now through the next game day. What does your week look like? Is it structured? Is it the same week to week? Or talk to me about your recovery process. I know you're dealing with a little bit of a hip thing, but how does treatment work? How does recovery work on a week to week basis, man?
Just man, recovering, getting the body, like I say, man, every week, man, you got to get the body ready to go take on a new challenge. And I feel like, man, it's just part of the NFL. And each week I'm doing different things to get the body ready. And sometimes my schedule changes because, man, I have a son. So, I try not to let football overtake me being a great dad too, because, I try to pour so much into being a football player, get my body right, eating right. But, I can't always forget about my son who at home.
Papa James.
Who just want to play. He want to play just as much as I want to, as much as I want to go study some stuff. So having that happy balance of getting all my work in, getting my recovery in, and then having that dad life where I still can celebrate with my son, and just play with him and make him feel special,
Hey, I ain't a dad yet. I'm not sure I'm ready for the smoke, DJ. But
nah, you ain't ready for that yet, man. Take your time. I will tell you that. Take your time with that.
All right, I got a goofy one, and this is the final one. Would you rather switch hair with Austin Eckler or Justin Herbert?
Hey, I'd probably go with Herbert. Herbert got some nice hair, man. He got the curls and like he got the love. You feel me? I'm gonna go with Herbert. I can't rock the ball head. My head's too big.
He's got the nice side. Yo, DJ, man,
you're gonna see my head if I get the ball.
Oh no, I'm already working on hairline airlines as well. But
sure.
I appreciate your time, man. No, seriously, I know it's some time out of your day, and we'll all be watching. Best of luck on Sunday, DJ. I need 2 picks. I want one pick.
I got you, fam. I got you, fam. We're gonna make it come to life, man.
All right, brother. Be well. Cheers. Have a good one,
man.
Guys, it's Derwin James on the show. An absolute pleasure having Derwin on Bleav in Chargers, everybody. Listen, this is a guy who has gone through so much in his career, trials, tribulations, and all he's done is just come out, show out, and produce at a high level. And I think one thing that really stood out to me with Derwin, everybody, it's his energy, right? It's his moxie, and it's his youthful spirit that's going to carry him and have longevity in this league, for a very, very long time. And I think there was a few things that really stood out to me from this interview. Number one was talking about Derwin and Asante Samuel Jr. and how bullish, DJ is on Zont and his energy and and you know what, his swag off the field that we always see on the field. And I think the biggest thing when his answer about Asante Samuel Jr. was what? It was this. It was his preparation, his habits are well beyond his years, are way beyond his years, only just being a second-year pro in the National Football League. So that's kind of one of my bigger takeaways from the Derwin James interview. Some of you fans, I appreciate you guys submitting some of those questions. Shout out Ash with the switching hair with Eckler or Justin Herbert question. But I think another thing that really stood out to me was this. It was Derwin James. This is a guy, again, he's been through so much in his career. Those 2019, those 2020 injury years were so impactful, and they contributed to the leader that Derwin James is today. no doubt about, contributed to the leader Derwin James is today. Because this is a guy now that we talk about is kind of the heart and soul of this Chargers defense. And he's 26 years old, right? We're 4 years removed of Derwin James being a 22-year-old rookie coming out of Florida State, being a first-team All-Pro. And 4 or 5 years later, now he's considered a veteran on this team, yet he's not even sniffing the age of 27 yet. And his role has had to expand tremendously with the injuries of Joey Bosa, Asante Samuel Jr., Austin Johnson, a lot of injuries and thinness with that defense. And I just wish there were 11 Derwin Jameses on the field, because if so, this team would be an elite defense. So there you guys have it. That's Derwin James joining Bleav in Chargers. I also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, betonline.ag. Betonline.ag also just came out with their NBA picks so far to start the year. They have Russell Westbrook being the favorite for Sixth Man of the Year. They have Jason Tatum being favorite for MVP. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being the favorite for Most Improved Player. So guys, go over to our friends at betonline.ag. Use promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, for a $50 off welcome bonus to get started. Go to betonline.ag. Listen, everybody, here's where the Chargers stand. They're at 6-5. They have a huge game. I mean, a massive game in Las Vegas this weekend. If they can get to 7-5, they set themselves up for a Sunday night showdown against Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. It's going to be an absolute dogfight at SoFi Stadium. But this swing game of this Raiders game is so imperative that they're able to be 7-5 and not 6-6. And the Raiders are coming in, everybody, very, very high. I know they're 4-7, but they are coming off 2 big-time overtime victories. One in Denver, not as impressive because that Broncos team is putrid. But secondly, last week against the Seattle Seahawks, in which they won an absolute shootout in C-Link in the Pacific Northwest. And that they're horse of that offense right now. It's actually not Devontae Adams. It's Josh Jacobs, who I think is the first player in NFL history to have 180 rushing yards and 70 receiving yards in a single game, or at least in a long time. Josh Jacobs is going to be the key to the Chargers' success, because they can double Tay, but what are you going to do when you have this rush defense that's really, really struggling? That's going to be a really, really key talking point about this team. And I told Derwin to his face, he's a queen chess piece. You see him play high, you see him play low. The question is going to be, where are they going to use him? Where is Brandon Staley going to utilize Derwin James? And that's going to be the key to the Chargers' success. And I think another really cool thing about this Derwin interview is that he talked about the differences of Herbert and Rivers, right? Kind of Rivers' new schemes. Herbert was kind of how Derwin compared himself to earlier in his career, where he was relying on instinct. But as you start to see Justin Herbert mature throughout these years, you're going to see Justin Herbert now start to understand scheme more. Derwin talked about it on his own behalf, talking about how in 2018, I know he's a first-team All-Pro, they didn't have a scouting report on him, right? And that's why he was able to be extremely successful. He was relying on, his instincts. There was no scheme designed to stop Derwin James. But as he's gotten older, still only 26, he's had to adapt, right? There's book on him now. There's tape on Derwin James. And that's what makes him so special, that he's able to be this effective when there's already so much substance and design to stop him, right? Because when he was a rookie, it was Joey Bosa. That's who the tape was on. Right? It was other guys. But now it's DJ, and he's doing everything. He's still in his prime. He's maybe not even in his prime. He's also being that kind of, quote, big brother. And I think all Chargers fans, we all knew when he was talking about the jokesters, Braden Fehoko. I mean, this is a guy who everyone says is the funniest guy. Derwin was just laughing about him. I don't even want to know the jokes that Fehoko makes, but I'm sure they are so funny. And I was surprised to hear his teammate would be Keenan Allen if they're playing a 2v2 basketball league. Of course, Keenan's wet, right? DJ says he's wet, but I don't know, DJ. I don't know if he got that wet jumper like your guy Keen there. But guys, nonetheless, this was a really, really fun interview. Talking about Derwin James. Talking about Florida State, and of course, everybody, we all knew it. 87. We knew Travis Kelce was the guy he wanted to face, and Kelce got the better of DJ last Sunday night, just kind of, I think, on the final ends of that game. But Derwin is really, really good when he faces Kelce. And that body slam, of course, Derwin's like, you know what? Kelce got the last laugh. And I think you can tell from Derwin's face, right, that loss against Kansas City still truly, truly stings. Anyhow, I do think that the great ones when they bring the best out of one another. Right? Like the Cavs and the Warriors, they always brought out the best in one another, right? LeBron and KD, right? Brady versus Manning, Derwin and Kelce. Like, That is the matchup that Kelce knows, he's going to have his handfuls tonight. And Derwin knows, likewise, I'm going to have my hands full tonight. But that's what makes it prime time. That's what makes it so great to watch. Because we have to remember that Derwin, usually when he's on Kelce, is dominating. And of course he's going to get beat because Travis Kelce is a top 5 tight end, top 10 probably of all time, in the National Football League. That was a question where I knew he was going to say Kelce. I just wanted to confirm it because he's like, come on, man, it's Kelce, right? So guys, I appreciate everyone's time. This was an extremely, extremely fun episode talking about, with Derwin James, talking about this team, talking about his mindset, having some goofy questions. Make sure you go check out this show, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Subscribe to the Second Hogwatch Football channel and the Hogwatch YouTube channel. Go check out my man Lorenzo Neal, who couldn't join us today, but go check him out. So everybody, thank you so much. Derwin, thank you for your time. Let me know which Charger you want to see next on the show. It's been your boy, Born in Nazari, a.k.a. Hog, and I'm signing out, everybody. Peace.